to the Built for Tough Player of the Week show. I'm Greg Tepper. That's Ashley Pickle here at the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership. We are so pleased to bring the Built for Tough Player of the Week award under the Dave Campbell's Texas Football umbrella. And even more special is that we get to be a part of it as they enter their 20th year, 20 years of honoring excellence both on and off the field.
And there is no better way to kick it off, Greg Tepper, than to start with our Built for Tough 6A Player of the Week. We head down to Humble, Atascocita, and we look at senior quarterback Carday Mack. He completed 17 of 24 passes for 247 yards and 3 touchdowns in the air. Not only that, racking it up with his legs, 224 yards on the ground and 3 more touchdowns. We wondered if they would move him back over to his natural position of running back, but I see now why Coach Stump left him there as the signal caller, Tup.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And obviously with Carday Mack, it ain't broke. What he was able to do in their Week 1 win over Houston Lamar was simply remarkable. You know, we've come to expect the high-flying attacks from Atascocita under Coach Craig Stump, and once again, they've got the guy at the helm in Carday Mack. He is a playmaker, and don't overlook the fact that they did it to a traditionally strong defense in Houston Lamar. Absolutely remarkable performance from Carday Mack to kick off his senior season, and he was nice enough to join Mallory Hartley earlier today.
Sitting down here with our Built for Tough 6A Player of the Week, Atascocita quarterback, Carday Mack. What was your initial reaction when Coach Stump told you that you were going to be the recipient of the Built for Tough 6A Player of the Week award?
Honestly, I was more shocked than anything because I have been trying to get this award for like maybe the last 2 years. And we've had people who got it before us. Actually, one of our coaches has had it before. So, and he kind of just throws it in my face a little bit. So it feels great to have it.
What does winning this achievement mean for not only yourself, but maybe your career moving forward as well?
I would say it's a big accomplishment, obviously. It's one of the milestones that I've always wanted to hit. So I just say it's another milestone and just keep going.
Absolutely. Well, Carday, we appreciate the time and congratulations on winning the Built for Tough 6A Player of the Week.
Thank you.
Clear to see what that meant to Carday Mack, saying that he's been chasing this for a couple of years. Well, I'll tell you, someone who's very excited to have him on his team for another year is head coach Craig Stump.
Well, he's a great person off the field, and he's somebody that you want representing you in the community. Just as an Atascocita football player, being part of something bigger than yourself, I think he understands that, and he's just a great representative for all the other guys younger than him and his teammates.
Now time to roll out our Class 5A Built for Tough Player of the Week for Week 1. And in my opinion, it's a runaway favorite in Caden Hoover, the outstanding safety from Edinburgh Valley. So get this. Down there in the Rio Grande Valley, the SaberCats defensive back hauled in not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 interceptions in his opening week win over Edinburgh North. A dominating performance there. Just 2 interceptions shy of the national record, Ashley Pickle.
What a performance in a guy who was starting off in his first start as a safety. To have 5 interceptions in one game. Coach said there's a lot of players that don't even have 5 interceptions in a season. And it is not only Hoover's ability to have great vision, but the anticipation that he has to go out and extend himself to get those is truly miraculous. What a week for Hoover. And our very own Mallory Hartley was able to catch up with him earlier this week.
Sitting down here with Caden Hoover, linebacker out of Vela High School, who is our Built for Tough 5A Player of the Week award recipient. Caden, I got to ask you, what was your initial reaction when you found out that you were being awarded the Built for Tough 5A Player of the Week?
I was really lost for words, coming from my first varsity game, all this, and just really crazy to think about that I've had 5 interceptions in my first game. For me to see on my notification that I'm 5A Player of the Week is really crazy to see.
Well, and let's go ahead and jump right into it, right? That's why you won the Built for Tough Player of the Week award. You had a 5 interception game. What's the secret sauce, man? How did was the preparation any different for this game? Walk me through that process.
So I've prayed many times, just no one knew my name, no one knew who I was. I just prayed that He put me in the right spot at the right time, that I knew what I was doing, and I'd just be there to make a play.
What was the key to your performance this week?
Probably just stay focused, stay hydrated, just keep working, and don't give 100% every single play.
And then how can you take this performance last week, use it kind of as momentum heading into the season?
Well, it's a big expectation to live up to. I have to say that, but I'm gonna continue working, continue showing who I am, who I want to be, and it's just step one of completing my goal.
And then Caden, finally, winning this award, obviously it's a big deal. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot, just out of all the people, all the players in Texas, I was the one that was chosen. That's really, really just crazy for me to think. It's amazing.
Well, and we appreciate you hopping on. It's a big honor to be able to talk to you as well. Talk about Caden, as we obviously know what kind of a player he is on the field. 5 interception performance is undoubtedly amazing, setting records almost there. Talk about Caden a little bit off the field and what he brings to the table in that way.
First of all, we're excited and humbled to have an opportunity to coach him. He's probably a better person than he is a footballer, and it's pretty cool to see. He's very humble. He's a hardworking kid, and he comes from a good background, and he just loves the game of football.
And Coach Guerrero, there, you are the defensive backs coach, obviously. I'm going to talk to you next. Walk me through the game, your feeling throughout the entire game, knowing that one of your guys almost just set a record with 5 interceptions in one game.
It's, for lack of a better word, it was just an awesome feeling to see that kind of performance. And I feel the same way as coach here. I believe the privilege is all ours to have this type of, not just player, but character caliber young man in our program. And usually that kind of success happens over the span of a season, but to see all his hard work and the preparation, and for him to have that much success in one game was a really great feeling to see. But we all know Hoover, and we know that he's going to come back week after week and want to do the same thing, and we know he's not going to be satisfied with that. And Coach Landez, you're the defensive coordinator there. Talk about the kinds of things that Caden does behind the scenes.
I couldn't ask for a better individual back there as a person, as a player, and as a leader. And in terms of the offensive scoring points and putting the pressure on the opponent and allowing them to throw the ball in a predicament like Friday night, it was such an amazing moment at the end of the game to say, hey, I don't think you understand, Coach Guerrero, but you have a top defensive back in the state. I wasn't thinking nationally just yet, but when Monday came around and it was number 1 in the nation, it was pretty much kind of a sigh of relief to say, dang, like he really did it.
I was going to say, Caden, are you going to be disappointed if you get 4 next week instead of 5?
No, man, any interception is good for me, just to provide for my team, get the offense the ball, and let me score.
And congratulations once again to Caden Hoover, our Built Ford Tough Player of the Week in Class 5A. We're just getting the party started here on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show, but before we go to break, I want to remind you to go to FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com to nominate your favorite player for excellence both on and off the field. We are taking your nominations now. We're sorting them through. We're putting them through the machine. We're making sure we find the best and brightest stars of Texas high school football. It's FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com/nominate to nominate your gridiron hero. Coming up here in just a moment, the Class 4A and 3A Players of the Week, if you keep it where it is.
Texas, the Ford Summer Sales Event is here, and we're bringing the adventure with the best deals of the season across our leadership lineup of best-selling trucks and SUVs. Hurry in today and drive the #1 vehicle brand in Texas. Now that's how you summer across Texas with Ford. Right now, get 4.9% for 72 months plus $3,250 total cash on F-150. Only at your best in Texas Ford dealer.
back in to the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show presented by your Texas Ford dealers. Ashley Pickle, Greg Tepper, as we welcome in our Class 4A Built Ford Tough Player of the Week. We head to Athens, Texas to shine a light on senior quarterback David Richardson. So Athens were tied with Henderson 49-49. They had one drive left, just over 3 minutes to go 89 yards, and that's when David Richardson made the big move, a 15-yard touchdown run with just 2 seconds left on the clock to grab the Week 1 victory. Greg Tepper.
Yeah, you talk about senior leadership, right? And you want senior leadership at the QB1 position, and I think that's what you saw from David Richardson in Week 1, obviously leading that 89-yard touchdown drive to win it in a wild back-and-forth affair that included 8 different lead changes in that ball game. To me, this is the mark of a true senior leader, that calm under pressure. When you need the plays, you come up with them the most, and that is what David Richardson did in Week 1, and we were lucky enough to catch up with him earlier today.
Walk me through, as a player in that quarterback position, walk me through the final 3 minutes of that game and what you were feeling.
So one of my best receivers, he went out real early in the game, so I kind of had to step up with using my legs more than I might usually would down the road. And so going in that last drive, the last 3 minutes of the game, it was intense, but I've been in those moments before, so I've had a little bit of experience in that, and just have to stay calm through all that. And their band was super loud, and we were first and 20 at our own 10-yard line and had to go about 90 yards to win the game. And we did that, but yeah, we worked our way down the field, a few big plays by some guys who also stepped up, and yeah, with 9 seconds left, I ran it in from the 15 to win the game.
How did you feel in that moment? I'm sure you were pretty pumped up.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I saw the hole open up, and I saw my opportunity and went and made it.
David works as hard as anybody I've ever been around at being the best he can be. He's spent countless hours with us as coaches, but also on his own, traveling and going to quarterback lessons. He goes up north of Dallas, which is about a 2-hour drive, every weekend to work with a quarterback guy up there that does a great job, that helps him be the best quarterback he can be. And so in the past, big thing me and Dave had a lot of talks about is, in the past, because he works so hard, he kind of has a hard time, or he has up until his senior year, like relating, and he gets frustrated at guys that don't work as hard as him. But as I've told him, I'm like, Dave, nobody works as hard as you. And so you, as the quarterback, and we spent a ton of time in the offseason talking about this. As the quarterback, man, it's your job to raise those guys' levels. And so he's always set an example. He's always been a leader by example. The thing that I've challenged him, and our coaching staff has challenged him, and that he's really worked on this year, and you saw it Friday night, is being a vocal leader and encouraging the guys on the offense. Because I think, and I've told him this, all great quarterbacks do that. All great quarterbacks, and I've been around some great ones. I've been around this game a long time. I got some great ones in my bloodline. All great ones make people around them better. And I think he's really done like that. David's always been a great player. But what I've seen this year, and you saw Friday night, is he made the whole offense better with his encouragement, with his presence, with his words. So I think that's the biggest piece that he's added. And he's recognized that, hey, man, he has to do that this year. And I think he's done a great job.
Now it's time to roll out our Class 3A Built Ford Tough Player of the Week for Week 1, and we got to go out east to Palestine Westwood quarterback Kavian Bryant, who was simply sensational in their Week 1 win over Mahia. Aside from going 18 for 18 in the first half, he was almost perfect. 469 yards and 4 touchdowns passing, another 89 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground, and he was spreading the wealth, Ashley. 5 different receivers had 3 or more catches.
And that in week 1 is a tough feat to do anyway. But I'll tell you what, it's his consistency. He really is, whether it's passing or the speed at which he can get the ball out of his hands. You can only distribute that many passes to that many different receivers in week 1 if you are moving and on the go. So Kavion Bryant, an incredible player there for Westwood, and our very own Mallory Hartley caught up with him.
Give it up for Kavion Bryant. Here we go.
Now, tell me what your initial reaction was when you found out that you were going to be the Built Ford Tough 3A Player of the Week. Now, obviously, we saw you on camera getting dogpiled, but what was going through your mind in that moment?
Well, my parents had told me the night before that they had a surprise for me, but I didn't know what it was. And then this morning, it was kind of introduced to me, and I was shocked. I mean, I didn't realize it, but I'm grateful.
Well, and it's very well deserved. I mean, you had an incredible game last week. Talk to me a little bit about what this achievement means to you. I mean, now you know there's only one player in each classification that gets awarded this award each week. So talk to me a little bit about what this award means to you.
It means a lot, to people to recognize my talent, going out every night, just playing my game. And, I went 18 for 18 in the first half. Didn't really know that either until halftime. My little brother came up to me and told me. But, just staying down working and, playing the best I can.
Absolutely. Well, Kavion, we really appreciate the time, and congratulations again on such a big honor, and good luck moving forward.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
What kind of a person is Kavion off the field? What does he bring to the table?
He is everything that you want, in a young man. His high character, he's intelligent, his work ethic, his leadership, his competitive spirit, and all of that was done before I ever met him.
What does it mean for you to be able to see one of your players get recognized for the achievements?
It's just a testament to who he is. It's a testament to, like I said, the family. It's a testament to our staff. I've been around some really good players. When I was a coordinator in the Metroplex, and the Malik Jeffersons at Mesquite Poteet, the Alan Bowmans at Grapevine, and they were awesome people too. And I don't want to take anything away from all of those, the Landis Durhams at Plano East, all those big time recruits. He's something special. It's hard to describe. You asked about what a college is getting. They don't even understand what they're going to get. Their whole program's going to change when Kavion Bryant walks in the door from the type of kid they're getting, the type of young man they're getting. He's, and no slight to anybody else, he's the best player in the country, 1 through 6A. That's how I feel about him, and nobody can say anything to change my mind.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. Congrats on Kavion's award, and good luck this season moving forward.
We're still partying here on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show for week 1. Coming up, the 2A and private school winners, plus a look back at some stars of the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week in the past. Stick with us.
Texas, the Ford Summer Sales Event is here, and we're bringing the adventure with the best deals of the season across our leadership lineup of best-selling trucks and SUVs. Hurry in today and drive the #1 vehicle brand in Texas. Now that's how you summer across Texas with Ford. Right now, get 4.9% for 72 months plus $3,250 total cash on F-150. Only at your best in Texas Ford dealer.
Welcome back to the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show. We are celebrating excellence on and off the field, and also celebrating 20 years of this prestigious award. Let's flash it back for you to some outstanding playmakers who have made their impact felt with this award. Go back to 2015 when Channelview quarterback Jalen Hurts was the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week in Class 6A for the Falcons, and put together a spectacular senior season where he threw for nearly 2,400 yards and 26 touchdowns, added another 1,400 yards and 25 scores on the ground. An incredible playmaker there for his father, the coach there, Avarian Hurts. Of course, we wonder whatever happened to that young man, except take a look. The reigning Super Bowl MVP, leading the Eagles to a championship last year. He is, of course, making his impact felt on the NFL, but don't forget, he got his start with the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week. Much more to come on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show, the 2A and private school winners, if you stay with us.
In Texas, high school football is more than a game. It's a legacy. From small towns to powerhouse programs, Friday nights showcase the best talent in the nation. At texasfootball.com/recruiting, we cover the stars of today and tomorrow with trusted rankings, in-depth analysis, weekly podcasts, and live commitment announcements, because this is where legends begin.
Hey, I was going to take a video picture of you standing by this. Hey, and you can look at that camera. Hold up the two. Because you won it for the second time this week for last week's game. Yeah. So, third week again for doing it.
And what an incredible reaction there as we welcome you back into the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show. Whose reaction was that? Well, it would be our 2A Built Ford Tough Player of the Week, and that would be Ozona running back Christian Villarreal, the senior. Absolutely popped off in their 65-0 shutout over McCamey in Week 1. 18 carries, 371 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Greg Tepper, he left nothing untold.
He also had 5 two-point conversions in that game, which means that of the 65 points that they scored in their Week 1 win over McCamey, he scored 52 of them personally. Like, he's taking them home with him. An absolutely remarkable performance, but folks in Ozona and longtime viewers of this program may remember that this is not the first time that he's won this award. He won it last year when they beat McCamey. He has personally victimized the Badgers of McCamey twice and taking home 2 Built Ford Tough Player of the Week awards. Absolutely remarkable, and caught up with our Mallory Hartley.
First of all, congratulations on Christian winning this award. When I called you yesterday, you said, hey, I'm going to save your number because you're going to be calling me a lot about my players.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How do you hope that this award motivates the rest of your team? Because I think this is more of a team award, right? How do you think this award motivates the rest of your team moving forward into the season?
Well, I think there's a part that they kind of expect Christian to get things like this because he's, no disrespect to H.D. Davis, cover boy of the magazine, and everybody else, but this is the best running back in 2A. So, obviously I'm new. And so when I saw this job was open, I started looking at stuff and I saw the thing, facilities and everything else, but I watched film and I saw this guy and I was like, yeah, I think I can coach him because this dude works hard. He helps coach the kids. He'll run you over and then he'll pick you up and, pat you on the butt and say good job. And then he'll do it again the next play.
Not only is he a stud at football, but he also is a stud at baseball. And then you throw in academics in there as well, on top of the pressure of being a leader of this team, of all of his teams. How does he, as a player from a coach's perspective, balance all of that?
Well, he plays basketball too, so he never has a break.
And basketball, throw it in there too, yeah.
I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but the walls are shaking because we got deadlift going on in there today, and he's kind of the leader in the weight room too. And
of course he is.
Those kids, I'm watching him at times. He's fixing kids' form on power clean, and that's just how he is. And I mean, I was told here when I got here that he'll just help anybody, and he runs around the summer. He's working and coming to the weight room, and if somebody needs help, he does that too. He's just a great kid, and it helps that he's, 6'1", 6'2", 215. Yeah, that helps too. This is the second year in a row in Week 1 that he's gotten it. So he likes to put on shows in the first game of the season, and we're going to try to continue that throughout the whole year.
Sitting down here with our Built Ford Tough 2A Player of the Week. It's Ozona running back Christian Villarreal. Now, I've got your stat line here, and I want to read it out loud because it's absolutely insane. You ran for 371 yards on 18 carries for 7 touchdowns. Now that's averaging over 20 yards a carry. And you also accounted for 52 of your 65 total points. Now they shut out McCamey 65-0 last week. What do you think was the key to your performance this week?
Definitely my linemen for sure. They were the ones leading me through the way and making sure I can get to where I needed to be.
And then lastly, what does winning this achievement mean for you and your career moving forward?
Oh, it means a lot. It means that other teams that will play get to see what we bring whenever we play them.
Well, we appreciate the time, Christian, and congratulations on winning the Built Ford Tough 2A Player of the Week award. Good luck moving forward.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, our private school Built Ford Tough Player of the Week. It's a name you need to know. Keyshawn Henderson, the outstanding quarterback at Houston Legacy, who was absolutely electric in their season opening win over Houston's Second Baptist. He threw for 423 yards and 6 touchdowns, adding 43 yards on the ground. And he is an outstanding high school football player, obviously. That's why he won this award, but he's also a big-time prospect.
He absolutely is. There's a reason why he is named a 5-star here in our Dave Campbell's Texas football rankings and the #1 player in the state. The thing that always sticks out to me about Keyshawn Henderson is his ability to get back in the pocket. And it's not just because he's very, very quick, but you take a look at those super elongated strides, and he is able to make his way and gravitate his vision so far down the field. You pair that with a big deep ball like that, and Keyshawn Henderson is everything and more. Our very own Mallory Hartley caught up with him earlier this week.
Okay, Keyshawn, I've got to ask you, what was your initial reaction when you found out that you were going to be the Built Ford Tough Private School Player of the Week? I know you know what this award means.
I was like surprised that just I had teammates right here that supported me throughout the whole game. Everybody wanted to see everybody succeed. It was just a blessing just to go out there and be rewarded for me playing out every game. And I mean, the first game, just coming out with a bang.
Well, man, you had speaking of that game, 6-touchdown game in your senior debut there in high school. What does this achievement mean to you to be recognized for that one heck of a game that you had last week?
That just goes into the hard work that my team put in throughout the whole summer, spring, off season. I couldn't do it without them. For me to have them here, it's kind of just like a full circle moment. I wouldn't have got the 6 touchdowns without them because I didn't put nothing in the end zone myself. So I feel like without them, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish nothing that was accomplished that night.
And Keyshawn, I know you know how big of fans we are of you at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Obviously, we have you as the #1 overall prospect in the state of Texas in our DCTX Rising 100. I know that you know how to handle pressure. So how do you handle that sort of pressure? I know there's that kind of chip on your shoulder. You know, you're going into this year, it's, hey, I'm the #1 overall player in the state of Texas. How do you handle that kind of pressure?
We don't really look at numbers. We just look at results. Talk is cheap, but action is expensive.
Sure is.
I feel like we got to be really, really, really expensive with the action that we got, especially with my teammates. I got them to lean on. So I feel like that's just something that I always got to fall back on is my teammates and just the brotherhood we built like throughout every week.
We all know what kind of a player Keyshawn is on the field, but talk about him as a person off the field.
Oh man, he's a character off the field. Always smiling. He gets in on all the jokes. He's a TikTok dancer. I mean, any dance you want to see, he can do. But at the same time, he's been a kid. He's loving what's going on in life. He's great on the field. But off the field, there's so many things that Keyshawn takes part of that the world doesn't know about. And it takes a special kid to be ranked as high as he is and knowing what's going on, but still have enough sense to say, hey, I still got to get better each and every day. And that's what I love about Keyshawn the most. He takes time with the smallest people. And a lot of great athletes don't do that. So that helps him stand distance away from all other guys that are ranked in Texas high school football across the nation. And he plays for me, for the Legacy Titans. That's extra.
What kind of an example does this set for the rest of your team moving forward into this season to have one of your players earn such a big recognition like this?
Well, you know, we have a running saying, and it goes like this: the biggest room in the house is room for improvement. Keyshawn is studying improvement. The kids around him, the student athletes around him are studying improvement. The sky's the limit you can accomplish anything you want to accomplish. These guys see it firsthand. They don't have to watch it on TV. They live it and see it every single day. We might not have everything that we want here, but what we got within this team right now can't be divided. And, you know, the great work, enthusiasm, culture, you name it, we have it all right here. And we're just going to continue to keep working. And these guys that surround him know that their opportunity is going to come. They just got to be ready for it.
So are you giving us permission to include one of Keyshawn's TikTok dances in this video?
Absolutely. He has a lot of them. So whichever one you pick, it's going to be entertaining. So he's the guy. There's a lot of guys on the team that dance with him as well. So it's going to be interesting. So whatever y'all pick, post it.
And I'll tell you what, if Keyshawn doesn't have a future in football, maybe social media influencer is it for him, Tepper. All right, as we conclude our Week 1 episode of the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show, there's one more thing to do, and that's to look forward to Week 2 and our games to watch heading into this week's games. Tepper, anything that you see that sticks out to you here?
Yeah, I think you've got a number of opportunities to have the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week come out of these games. You see DeSoto and North Crowley obviously loaded with playmakers. Abilene versus Abilene Cooper, always a big-time matchup in the Crosstown Showdown. Excited to see that. Lavernia and Cuero should be a lot of fun down there south. Tidehaven and Goliad. Keep an eye on Cale Russell, the outstanding quarterback there from Tidehaven. Dillon and Stanford up out there in the big country. And then finally in the private school ranks. Got my eye on Houston Kincaid and Austin Regions. Figures to be a pretty good week of games. We'll have you covered every step of the way at TexasFootball.com. Congratulations to all the winners of the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week. We will see you next week on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show.